So for today's sketch of the day, we are going to be looking at this shape right here. This is a relatively easy place to start because everything about this is what we'd call rectilinear, meaning that it's basically a series of rectangles. It has height, it has width, it has depth. It doesn't have any lines going in other strange directions, and it doesn't have any curves to it. So those are some things that in time we're going to move into, and we're going to practice drawing a little bit better. Again, the reason that we're practicing drawing is not so that we can become skilled artists that we're going to put our drawings on display. The reason we're practicing drawing is because this is the language of communication and technology between designers and manufacturers. They need to be able to see and understand what the other is talking about, and if you are doing designs and drawings for the sake of production, sometimes you need to be able to show people what you're thinking. Sketching is the best, quickest way to do that. So we're going to be working on those skills little by little each day, and this is a great place to start. So with all of the lines that are going in the width direction for this part, we're going to be drawing all of those at the same angle. Pick an angle, put it on the page just like that. That's the angle that we're going to be drawing all of those width lines at. And same thing with the depth lines. All of the lines going in the depth direction, we're going to draw in that same angle. All of the height lines are going to be vertical. So I'm starting at my bottom corner of the shape here, and I'm going to work my way up to the top. Height line, still vertical, same height as I gave over here. And now that should make it so this next depth line runs at the same angle as the first one. If you have height lines in here that are two different lengths, then this line is not going to come out parallel to this one. And we're just kind of eyeballing it on our sketches here. You don't have to measure all of these lengths. If you want them to be more exact, you can, but trying to develop that eyeball for what looks right. Here again, we have a line in the depth direction, and it's the same length and angle as these others. Now I'm ready to go up again. Up again. Now we're going back in that width direction again. So again, these width lines are all running parallel to each other back at that angle in that direction. Try to keep those lines nice and bold, nice and sharp, nice and neat. Now when I get to this back edge of my last step here, I can see that I've gone a little too far on my bottom line here. I'm not worried about that. I'm not going to connect to the wrong end that I put on there in the first place. I'm going to make my vertical line vertical, straight up and down the way it's supposed to be, and then I'm going to remove this extra bit of line afterwards. Now along the way, I made a couple of mistakes. I have a line here that's going at the wrong direction. I started light so that I could erase those screw-ups if they happen, and then I only darken them up once I'm sure that I have the line where I want it. I had a little overshoot here. I'm going to clean that up too. A little bit of a double line down here. I'm going to clean that up now that I'm finished. And finally, I'm going to date this. I'm going to sign it. And day one of Sketch-A-Day is complete.